So, welcome to the Instructor Podcast, the Green Room edition. This is the show where we talk about not DVSA, ADI and PDI specific topics. I'm getting ahead of myself there, and look at the latest news going on within our industry. As always, I am your splendid host, Terry Cook, and thankfully, for you guys at least, it isn't just me. We're joined by someone of equal to greater stature in Chris Spencer. How are we doing, Chris?
All is good. They get the combined chaos of the two of us.
Watch it be mundane now for this episode. So let's dive straight into the news. So the biggest news topic of, since the last Green Room, so the biggest news topic of this month is the fact that at the Intelligent Instructor and ADI NJC Expo on the 2nd of October, the Instructor Podcast will be recording its 100th episode live at the Expo. I think that is some tremendous news, and yeah. So, Chris, how do you feel about the Instructor Podcast recording its 100th episode live at the Intelligent Instructor and ADI NJC Expo?
Awesome. It'd be great. It'd be interesting to see what you do and who you speak to. So yeah, I look forward to it. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to be there, but I might have to dodge you if you're waving your microphone at people.
You're not quite as excited as I'd hoped you'd be. But anyway, I'll tell you what was interesting though. I was kind of thinking about that before we started recording, and I thought I'll say that as a joke, and it was kind of said in jest. But then I thought, you know what? If I wasn't me doing it, then I would be talking about it in that sense, thinking, oh, that's quite cool that there's an actual podcast being recorded live at the event. And I think, no, it's pretty cool. It's worth a little mention and obviously a little plug as well. So if you are going to the expo on the 2nd of October, make sure you come down. I am probably going to be in the smallest room available, which is fine by me, because on one hand, the fewer people that watch me completely balls up live, the better. However, I would like to pack the room. So if you're down there, come and find me, come and watch me. I have got a very special competition lined up. I'm not 100% sure what the actual competition will be yet, but I will tell you the prize, which is a 12-month subscription to my premium content free of charge. You'll get that free of charge. I'm not sure what the competition yet. Maybe I'll ask you to take a selfie with me and chuck it on social media or something like that. I don't know. But you'll have to come down and see me. And I'm getting some special pens made up as well. As for the guests, I can't confirm it just yet. But I put requests in for people, so we're just waiting to see who they are. But then I thought, you know what, it would have been quite cool to actually get you on, Chris. Maybe get you on and get like a couple of. But either way, I'll put you as a reserve just in case.
If they all say no, you mean you'll give me a shout and see if I'm going to be there?
No, you are high. Yes, yeah, exactly. But yeah, so that's the breaking news, obviously. So, like I said, come to the expo because you get to see me. I'm also going to be hosting one of the panels down there as well, which I will tell you now is absolutely nerve-wracking for me. That's going to be in front of actual people, and you are going to see me just go bright red and waffle and try not to insult anyone. So yes, go to the expo, watch me make a fool of myself, but spread the love for the Instructor Podcast while you're down there. There has been some news, not a massive amount, but enough to record a podcast about. And the first one I'm going to mention is the highway code, and I think it's worth mentioning. It's just around some updated driving sentences for driving offences. So I'll kind of just touch on this briefly. Basically, the penalties for causing death by dangerous driving and causing death by careless driving under the influence of drink and drugs. Now, they've both increased from 14 years to life imprisonment. That's a maximum sentence, increased from 14 years to life imprisonment. And there's an obligatory disqualification period for both sentences, as increased from 2 years to 5 years. So you'll be disqualified for at least 5 years if either of those things occur. And a new driving offence has been created, which is causing serious injury by dangerous driving, which carries a maximum penalty of 2 years imprisonment and an unlimited fine. and I can't say the word, obligatory driving disqualification. So worth mentioning. Any thoughts on that, Chris, or is it pretty much the same as me, which is good?
Yes, good. It should be more reflective of what's actually happened, and I think every situation has to be looked at from both sides of it, and from with the individual circumstances. But it's got, having it available to them to as a conviction has got to be a good thing. The problem is it doesn't change anything for you or I, because we wouldn't have taken a lot of those risks in the first place, because that's not who we are. So it will be interesting to see whether those that are less risk averse will respond in any way to the additional punishment that is potentially on the end of it. So
I don't think it will work as a deterrent at all, because I don't think that the people that are doing it anyway really care about that. No one goes out with I'd like to think no one goes out with the intention of causing serious harm or having an accident, but I also think that if you are driving that recklessly anyway, you're not going to be put off by a bit of a stronger sentence. But I am pleased that there is a stronger sentence there, so it might not be a deterrent, but at least the punishment is greater.
yeah.
Anything else? Anything else to add on that?
No, I think it's exactly that, isn't it? It doesn't undo what was done, and if someone is the sort of person who you said doesn't care, I think often doesn't realize the real risk. I think it's not on their radar. Care suggests a level of understanding and of thought put into it. I don't think it even goes that far in a lot of cases. I don't think it's going to make any odds, and it doesn't undo what was done. So I think we all just agree to keep fighting the fight and not let people get there in the first place.
Yeah. All right. We'll put a pin in that one then, and we will look at some of the news that has gone on over the last month. And I think it's largely kind of DVSA focused. Often it is on this show because that's where the news comes from. But I think it's a bit more. I'd like to think is a bit more positive this time than we sometimes talk about. They released their Ready to Pass campaign. They also promoted that in a little bit differently to what they normally do. They've paid on, Graham O'Brien, the Assistant Chief Driving Examiner, has been promoting that by he paid on this podcast. So if you haven't listened to that, go back and check it out. It was a bonus episode that was out on Thursday the 28th. Go back and check that out. It also appeared on Dipod, so make sure you go and check out as well. And they're both very different episodes, and to the best of my understanding, there is actually a second episode of Dipod coming out after this will be released, so keep your ears peeled, for that as well. So the Ready to Pass campaign, the way they're promoting it, but also the sort of the annual review came out. So thankfully, Chris, before we started, you did tell me you have some notes, because usually when I come on and do these shows, I've got like 2 full A4 pages of notes, and today I have none. It's been one of those weeks/days. So yes, a little bit flying on the seat of my pants, but we'll be all good. So let's touch on this Ready to Pass campaign to begin with. Let's kind of look at the overview of this. What are your initial thoughts on this from a personal perspective?
I think I like the campaign. I think it's good. The actual visuals of it are good. As you said on the previous podcast, that not everyone's going to like it, because some people are going to hate it, whether it was covered in gold, or if they'd written it themselves, they'd still say they hated it. But it's the joy of the job, isn't it? Driving instructors. But I think that the actual campaign's really good. Possibly some of it, the things that are coming out, that when you pass your theory test, you get, inside of that or with that, is a bit late in the game. I'd like to see it going out with provisional licenses, which from experience I know is difficult, because that's DVLA territory, but you would have thought they could come to some arrangement. It would be nice if they were getting in that little bit earlier. The controversy, if that's not overstating it, seems to be that they want us to shout the message out. Brilliant. Make ourselves more visible. Show that we're working in tandem with the DVLA. Actually be part of the solution. I'm finding it very difficult to find something I don't like. Some of it is too test focused, but they're the minimum standards agency that's their job, so they are test focused in that way, because it's focusing on the pass and not anything afterwards. Safe driving for life, I believe, has taken a bit of a back seat because they're firefighting. But we want them to be. I think we're beginning to see the results of some of the changes that they've made. So if this is doing it, great. My negative, two negatives are with regards to the text message that is being sent out. It's got pass rate at the test center. So it says that, your test is at whichever test center, pass rate is 60%. They've said on the website 51 in 100 fail, but because the pass rate's gone up, the COVID symptom of pass rate going up, people have had more experience. Experience equals higher pass rate. I think that's misleading, and I don't get the benefit of a candidate knowing it's a 61% pass rate at that test center. It almost pits the test centers against each other. And then on the one that we got for our local test center, it said the waiting list is 5 weeks. We haven't seen a test available on the Monday release date for at least 3 of the weeks. I don't know where they get 5 weeks from. I'd like to know a bit more about that, but maybe it's the usual story of lack of communication about that figure rather than actually it not being a good thing. Maybe I just don't understand yet. I look forward to having that understanding. The overview, I thought it was really good. I like the social stuff. We shared all of it, and there was some positive likes from people that it was relevant to, so it was connecting.